Hello friends and welcome to lesson number 9. This is the third video of this lesson and this is the last video of this topic, land reforms in India. So up till now we have studied about what are land reforms, what are the various instruments of land reforms, and also what are the various ways in which land reforms lead to economic empowerment, and also especially the benefits for the small and marginal farmers. So in this video, let us focus our attention on what made some reforms work, and what are the reasons that some reforms did not work as expected. So what are the factors which lead to success and failures of land reforms? So that we'll study in this particular lesson, and we'll also see the future roadmap, what can be done in a better way. So let us first start by studying what made some reforms work, what are the enabling conditions. Now from success across states, we see certain common factors. So as I have told you that various states, they have different land reforms laws, and from across these states, what are some of the common factors that we'll see first. One is a strong political commitment. That is the most important enabling factor. So states like West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they carried forward because electoral backing and long-term commitment was there. Okay, so strong political commitment is very important political will in order for land reforms to be successful. Second one is mobilization and social pressure. So peasant movement, the farmers should themselves be aware about this. They should have a kind of movement, a kind of social awareness about it. Awareness among the cultivators ensured accountability of the government officers as well as of these landlords, so that these land reforms are done in letter and spirit. So mobilization of people, social pressure and awareness was equally important. Administrative strength, the administrative system should be very strong in order to bring about such changes, because see, it is not easy to take land from somebody and redistribute it to others. Obviously the person who is losing the land will resist, will try to find ways in which he will not lose the land. So administrative strength is very important. Capable revenue apparatus, officers, trained surveyors, data systems, supportive machinery, very important role. Then legal clarity, straightforward definitions, there should not be loopholes, minimized exceptions, fast dispute resolution, that is again very important. These are the factors which led to the success. Complementary investments should be there. So even if you give lands to the people, there should be physical infrastructure development like irrigation, roads, extension services, they must accompany land rights. Then transparent systems and digitization, modern record systems, open data, reduced rent seeking. Okay, rent seeking meaning basically corruption. Okay, bribe taking. And phased incremental implementation, pilots, course correction, consistent scaling, again very important factor. Pilots, course correction meaning first, any kind of land reform, maybe they'll do as a pilot study how it is working. For example, you want to do modernization of land records or digitization, you cannot do it in the entire country at once. So you need to have it done in maybe 1 or 2 districts. They'll check how it is done, what are the loopholes, what are the problems, they'll take feedback, and then again it will be expanded by making some corrections. So this is just like a software model. So software first they develop, they will test it, and once they test it, if it is successful, then they will expand it to the higher scale. So similarly, these reforms also need to be piloted, course corrections need to be done, and consistent scaling has to be done. So these are some of the factors which are responsible, which are the enabling factors for success of land reforms across various states. The case study of West Bengal's Operation Barga, it exemplifies many of these. So there was systematic recording of sharecroppers, legal protection was given, redistribution to homestates, and political emphasis was also there. Over the era, rural poverty declined because of this, agricultural growth accelerated, and social status improved for sharecroppers. So this is the success of Operation Barga of West Bengal. Okay, so it kind of showed many of these characteristics that we have seen here. Now let us come to why reform is hard, why it is difficult. That is also a point that we should focus on. What are the bottlenecks, what are the design flaws, okay, design flaws and emerging challenges. Now legacy record problems are there. So there are outdated maps. The village map is there, suppose, and it is very very old. Now the ownership has changed, plot fragmentation has happened, mismatch between field and record, and missing cadastre also. Missing cadastre, I have told you that this is a record of land ownership. If it is that is not there, so how will we prove that this land belongs to whom? So that is again very very problem. Legacy record problems, political resistance and capture, landed interest litigate. Many of these big landlords, they became important political figures of their district, of their place. So obviously if they are the land losers, they will resist such changes. So landed interest litigate, delayed redistribution or use exemptions like plantation, private leases, etc. Incomplete or token redistribution. So redistribution, we saw of the land ceiling, only 1.8% land was recovered from the from these excessive landholders, and only 1% of agricultural land was actually redistributed till 2005. So ceiling land declared but not taken over and not redistributed. By 2005, redistribution outcomes covered only 1% of the agricultural land. So again, a failure, a problem that led to difficulties in actually enforcing these land reforms. Informal tenancy dominance. Many leases tenancies are unregistered. There is no proof. Owners resist formalization. So landowners, they will not sign a legal document that we have given our land on rent or on tenancy basis to this particular person, because tomorrow that person can claim that land. So many people will not formally do it. Then fragmentation over time, inheritance divisions. For example, the land 50 years ago was in the name of person A, then he has 4 sons, then again these 4 sons have another 16 sons. So like that it becomes fragmented. It reduces viability of plots also. Weak institutional coordination, revenue registration, courts, local bodies often misaligned. So they need to be aligned properly. The information flow should be proper between revenue authorities, registration authorities, various courts, right? Because a lot of litigations also happen. So information flow should be smooth. Then lack of complementary support. Even with land, farmers lacked credit, inputs, irrigation, market linkages. Again a perennial problem that is there. Conversion pressures and acquisition loss. Farmland is under pressure for urbanization and industrial use. Compensation frameworks such as 2013 Land Act, this is RFCTL-AAR, may clash with redistribution logic. So this is right to fair compensation and transparency in land acquisition, rehabilitation law. So this is basically that 2013 Land Act, under which if any land is acquired by the government for any public purpose, any public infrastructure purpose, and they pay compensation to that landowner. So there is a pressure on this land. Now we are talking about agricultural land, but already we are industrializing, we are urbanizing also. So all these things don't really matter a lot these days. Okay, now technological and capacity gaps are also there. Digitization efforts sometimes have data quality issues or interoperability issues or lack local capacity to maintain them. So technologically also we are not so advanced. So again there are various constraints. Now let us look at what are the various reform pathways for the future. To reignite and modernize land reforms, India must. So what we must do? First one is achieve full credible digitization plus conclusive titling. Very, very important. MIS 4.0 of this Digital India Land Record Modernization Program is a step linking revenue codes and registry and Aadhaar, so that there is smooth flow of information. Registry meaning where people register their sell deed, gift deed, mortgage deed, etc. Then adopt and enforce lease legalization. Push Model Agricultural Land Leasing Act into state laws. Register leasing contracts, protect both lessor and lessee. So if somebody is taking land on lease, that leasing should be made legal. Okay, so that people know what is exact ownership, who is cultivating, what are the various rights of different kinds of people, what is the right of the lessee, what is the right of lessor. So that should be there. And this about this Model Agricultural Land Leasing Act we have seen in the previous lessons also. Then joint or gender titling and fast inheritance mutation to give women and their heirs secure claim. So this word, friends, heirs meaning the successors. Okay, it is pronounced as heirs, not hairs. Okay, so AIRS, heirs. So this is how you pronounce it. Please note this. Then use remote sensing, drone mapping, GIS to complete cadastral update. So we need to update our cadastral maps, still not updated. For that we can use remote sensing technology, drone mapping, GIS, right? Global positioning systems. Boundary correction, detect encroachment. Swamitwa is a flagship scheme in this direction, whereby drone surveys are being done and people are actually tagged to their property. So now they know that this is the land, this is the boundary, and this much is in my possession, and this is the this is my land ownership. So I am the swami of this particular piece of land. So that's why it is called Swamitwa scheme, because now you are giving people the legal document by which they will know that I am the owner of this land. Reform ceiling laws to close loopholes, Benami exemptions, implement faster acquisition and fair compensation, ensure effective redistribution. So we need to reform the ceiling laws also, because a lot of people do Benami transaction also. So for example, if I have 2000 hectare of land, I will transfer this 2000 hectare in 100 people who are my friends or my family, distant relatives, and although the land will remain with me, but I will do Benami transaction, meaning I'll transfer it to some other third person's name. So we have to reform such laws also, ceiling laws, so that we close these loopholes. Then institutional overhauls and capacity building, strengthen revenue departments, train staff in GIS, this modern technology, survey techniques and fast dispute mechanism that needs to be done. Then we need to have convergence with agrarian support system, like land rights must dovetail with credit extension, irrigation, market reforms and FPOs. So again, all these are the suggestions that need to be done in order to improve the socio-economic status of the farmers. Then there should be transparency and public monitoring, open dashboards of surplus land, mutation timelines, dispute resolution and social audits should be done. Dynamic land policies for urbanization, land pooling, flexible zoning, compensatory mechanisms to balance agriculture and development. So again, for urbanization, industrialization, we need to have a system whereby we will do zoning properly, that this is the agriculture zone, this is urban zone, where industry can happen. Then there should be compensatory mechanisms also, because if you are taking agricultural land, we need to compensate it, right? Because we cannot have complete urbanization, industrialization, and agriculture land will become zero one day. So that should also not happen. Land pooling system should also be there. Then sustain political momentum. So the history of land reforms, friends, started with the political will. So our politicians, our leaders, they wanted these land reforms to happen at the time of independence, and that political momentum should sustain, it should continue, because without political will and momentum, land reforms is not possible. So schedule periodic reviews, maintain public discourse, protect moderate reforms from policy fatigue. Okay, so people should not just get tired of this land reforms things, it should actually happen and actually convert into reality. So with this, friends, we will end our topic of land reforms. We will start a new topic in the next video. Thank you.